I would just like to say that God is a faithful, loving God, and He's a God that renews. Well, before I met Jesus, my life was, I could say, a mess. It was a lifestyle of homosexuality, drugs, and alcohol. Um, I was pouring myself into things that didn't have any meaning. I think the turning point for me was I realized that the void that was in my life, that nothing can fill it but God and His love. My life is different now that I've given it to God. I've learned how to walk in His glory. I can read the Bible and really get an understanding of it. I can see people in the eyes of Jesus instead of my own eyes. How has my life been inspired by Jesus? Just knowing that He's faithful and that He's merciful. Knowing that no matter what I do, there's nothing that's going to separate me from Him.
Before you came to God.
If I would have to give advice to somebody, I would say that Jesus Christ is the only way, that through salvation, He does give new life. I would say that even before you try the things of the world, drugs, sex, money, rock and roll, all those things, that God is your first and only source. I would say don't make the mistakes that I have by running away from God so much. I think that He should be your first choice and not your last. Well, before I came to Christ, I was, as I said before, I was in the homosexual lifestyle. I chose to run around, use drugs, use alcohol. I grew up thinking that the homosexual lifestyle was the only lifestyle for me. I didn't think that I would ever change or be anything better. And then just when I came to the realization that in the reality of it, Jesus Christ is the only man that I'll ever need in my life to give me what I was seeking out of the world. I went through drugs. I hit rock bottom. I was homeless for a while because of drugs and alcohol. And I think once I surrendered to God, I realized that the void was the things of the world and not what I wanted. I don't know, I just realized that God was what I needed. Coming to God the way I have, and coming to Fearless Brighton where I'm at, I realized that everything is in God's timing. And I want to express this the most, that through those trials and tribulations, through all that ugliness that I went through, I am here today because of those trials and tribulations. Because of all that ugliness that I went through, I'm here. And without that ugliness, God will not get the glory that He has gotten from it. I just want to say that I praise Him and I glorify Him, that He is a God that renews. And He literally takes what is old and He molds it And yes, he puts it through the fire, and it burns sometimes, but then when he pulls you out of it, you're a whole new creation. And I think that's important for us to realize, that we have to go through the fire.